Good evening. The February 24 monthly meeting of the Dixon County School Board is now in session. For the record, I'd like to recognize that all school board members are present, as well as Tanya Baker, Board Clerk, Scott Mullins, School Board Attorney, and Mrs. Robinson, Division Superintendent. This time, would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Board members, we have an agenda for tonight's meeting. Are there any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, there are no additions to the agenda.
Okay, hearing no changes, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. That brings us to the public comment section of the meeting. Mr. Hackney, will you please read the guidelines for public comment? And Ms. Martin, will you please be our timekeeper?
A period of time for public comment will be designated on the meeting agenda during which public may comment on issues related to public education. The Dickinson County School Board believes that the citizens of the county should be heard and that this is an acceptable format for receiving public comment. After the public comment section of the meeting is closed, the public shall not be allowed to participate in general board member discussions regarding agenda items. Public participation with the board members regarding agenda items can be disruptive, and the practice is prohibited by Robert's Rules of Order. It is the desire of the school board to treat each member of the public fairly and equally. Allowing one individual to participate while excluding others is unfair. The board may hold such public hearings as may be necessary to allow the public to more fully express their concerns, or the board may place the public comment section of any meeting at the end of the meeting to allow additional public comment. While we do not wish to restrict the free expression of opinion, we feel that certain restrictions may be necessary so that order and reasonable standards of decorum may be maintained. We ask that the following standards be adhered. The speaker will be recognized by the chair. Each speaker will be limited to 5 minutes. Speakers will refrain from the use of vulgarity or profanity and will avoid negative or embarrassing comments directed towards specific children or students. Board members should not respond to issues presented by speakers unless clarification is necessary. Matters of concern raised under public comment will be referred to the proper official for investigation and future board consideration if necessary.
Okay. This time we'd like to recognize Ms. Kathy Music of BPE.
Good evening, Chairman Hicks, Mrs. Robinson, members of the board. I've got some exciting news that I want to share. 3 of teachers from Dickinson County received scholarships and grants, and I just wanted to recognize them and let you know what they were doing, because it does take extra time to do that, and they did it to better themselves in their classrooms. So I just wanted to recognize them and congratulate them. The first one is David O'Quinn, and his grant was written, you all probably know, teaches at Ridgeview High, and he got money so that he could go back to school so that he could teach dual enrollment classes, and he's going to Radford University. And also another one that is going back to school at UVA Wise from Ridgeview Elementary, and I'm going to butcher her name, so you all help me. Vanessa Souleret. Yes. And so she's going back to expand her education. And the last one received money to purchase equipment and supplies for shirt designs, and from Ridgeview High School, and that went to Valerie Osborne. So congratulations to all of those people. And I want to introduce someone to you, and before I do, I want to thank you for allowing me to represent the teachers in Dickinson County. It has been my pleasure to be here with you every month for, I don't even know how many years, probably 9. I've been here most every month, not every month, but most every month, and to watch as you build this beautiful place we're standing in, it has been so exciting, and I just appreciate what you do. And what better day to say this, or month, since it's School Board Appreciation, but it has been my pleasure, and I thank you for allowing me to come. But I want to introduce you to somebody that is going to do a tremendous job. In fact, he came before me, Mr. Steve Short. Steve, come up here, and you can, he worked in Wise County for a lot of years. He started, got VPE started in Wise County and built it up. And he's going to be doing Wise and Dickinson County. And he, of course, is an educator from Virginia, went to Tennessee after he left VPE, and he's back. So I'm so glad to be able to pass the reins to somebody that, like I said, I know you all are in good hands. So you want to say anything, Steve?
I tell you, one thing I do want to say is congratulations to the Ridgeview girls. Being a former girls coach at Powell Valley, I can totally understand where they're coming from, and I've seen them play, and they are amazing, and Coach Robinette does a super job. So, and I look forward to seeing you every month. How many times you meet, I'll be here.
Thank you, Mr. Short.
Thank you, Mr. Short. Thank you, Ms. Music. We hate to not see you very often here anymore, but we do want to thank you for all the service you've done for all school systems throughout. Thank you very much. This time we'd like to recognize Mr. Tiller with DEA. Ms. Mullins is filling in for him, looks like.
I'm back.
All right. One out.
I'm glad to be back.
Well, that's a good trade. We got one leaving and one back, right?
That's okay. I'm glad to be back, and I am vice president now since I came out of retirement, and I'll be working very closely with the board as I did before, and I appreciate everything you all do. And I did go to Lobby Day. There was several people from Southwest Virginia, from our district. We talked to Terry Kilgore, Israel O'Quinn, and Todd Pillion. Of course, we asked for money. We always ask for money. And there's money in the budget. We just got to work really hard on our end to try to get it where it belongs. We can get the match and things. But again, I appreciate everything you do. It was a good trip. Everything was very positive, and I'll be back probably next month. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mullins. Welcome back. Do you have anyone else for public comment? Okay. Our next agenda item is the consent agenda, which includes approval of minutes, approval of monthly invoices, revenue and expenditure summary, discussion of school activity funds, approval of field trips, approval of new elementary school construction invoices, the approval of the construction bank reconciliation document, and the Dickinson County Schools health statement account. Are there any questions or discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Very much. All right, next agenda item is information for the school board. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Hicks, and welcome, board members. This month is a very special month, and each of you have a small gift before you. This is School Board Appreciation Month, and we never have enough time, nor do we have enough time to say thank you for all the things that school board members do. Whether you've been on the position as Mr. Vanover just a short time or longer, you know what it takes and the struggles often to be a school board member and the things that you face. So I'd like to read this certificate of recognition from Governor Youngkin, and if you will please allow me. School Board Appreciation Month. Whereas school board members are elected to represent the interests of students, teachers, parents, and other stakeholders, and whereas school boards play a vital role in ensuring that students across the Commonwealth have access to high-quality, rigorous education and are best positioned to uphold educational excellence in Virginia schools, and whereas school boards are the governing bodies responsible for the oversight, the success, and the effectiveness of school systems across the Commonwealth, and whereas local school board members work with parents, businesses, educational professionals, and other community members to make a shared vision of success for students. And whereas these decisions affect the present and future lives of children and chart a path to prepare all students to be competitive in a local, state, national, and global 21st century knowledge and economy, and we've seen that this week. And whereas the School Board Appreciation Month acknowledges the contributions, the dedication of each of you in the service of local school board members. Now, therefore, I, Glenn Youngkin, do hereby recognize February the 24th as School Board Appreciation Month in our Commonwealth of Virginia, and I call this observance to the attention of all citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please help me to recognize our school board members and their service? It's also School Board Clerk Month, and that is Tanya Baker. And I know that many of you have reached out to Tanya. I know I reached out to Tanya all the time, and so I'd like to also recognize her and their work, and would you please help me to recognize Tanya Baker? Thank you for each of you for your service. Thank you, sir.
Yes, okay. Yes, very sincerely, thank you, Tanya, for all that you do. All right, so this is my favorite part, especially when we got a big group here.
Yeah.
Ms. Robinson, do you have any good news from our schools?
Well, just a few. I'd like for you to please stand with me as we call the State Scholastic Bowl champions to the stage. Would you please come forward now? Gentlemen and ladies, if you'll come right up here, please. May I say that again, sir?
Yes.
State champions. State champions. By the way, this is the first state champion that Dickson County has had in Scholastic Bowl. Congratulations. Congratulations. And we have certificates, and if you would like board members to come and do the certificates for them, Mr. Hicks, if you'd like to hand out the certificates, and if board members would like to come to the front, and I'll call out their name. And while we're waiting, if the parents of the state champions, would you please stand to be recognized? We first would like to recognize 4 team members, and these are Mountain 7 regular champions, Region D champions, 23-24 state champions for outstanding achievement, Julia Casterline. Would you like to read? Mountain 7?
Yes, Mountain 7 regular season champion, Region D champion, and 23-24 state champion. So if you Greer. Mountain 7 regular season champions, Region D champions, 23-24 state champions, Tiger Moore. Mountain 7 regular season champions, Region D champions, and 23-24 state champions, Alex Smith. Mountain 7 regular season champions, Region D champions, 23-24 state champions, Alexis Stallard.
Hold on just a minute, Mr. Hicks, because you will see that these students have the same, but these are also all Mountain 7. So, all right? So if you'll go ahead and recognize those students.
I was going to just change it so they want it all. There you go. All right, Mountain 7 regular season champions, Region D champions, 23-24 state champions, and all district Mountain 7 Landon Catholic. Mountain 7 regular season champions, Region D champions, 23-24 state champions, all district Mountain 7, Connor Kaiser.
I can hear that all day, Mr. Hicks. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Mountain 7 regular season champions, Region D champions, 23-24 state champions, all region and all district Mountain 7, David Farmer.
Now, these are all Region D, okay?
All right. Mountain 7 regular season champions, Region D champions, 23-24 state champions, all district Mountain 7 and all region, Daniel Greer. Mountain 7 regular season champions, Region D champions, 23-24 state champions, Adrian White. Mountain 7 regular season champions, Region D champions, 23-24 state champions, and won it all, Holden Dingus.
Yeah. All right. I think our board would like to recognize each of you, and then if Mr. Dingus and Mr. White would like to say a few words. Just don't fall.
Be careful. Yeah. Makes me nervous.
How does it feel to be state champions? How does it feel to be state?
Be careful.
Yeah, really good. Their pictures at some page of Disney Star. Mr. White, Mr. Dennis, would you like to say anything? I know you're, but if you just wanted to mention anything, that would be
Well, let's see. I guess our travels, we went through the valleys and over the mountains and went through rain and snow, which is no joke, to get there after. We are the farthest traveling school in the state. And like I said, guys, I can listen to Jason all day say it over and over and over. It's like even today, it still doesn't sink in that what's happened. But these kids represent us so well.
We wouldn't have been able to do it with any other bunch.
No, I mean, the way that they represent our school with just their pride and their professionalism and their will is just amazing. You know, we've been doing this for 7 months, by the way.
Yes.
We started after Labor Day. And there'll be times where like, guys, you did good this weekend, you know, we won. Why don't you take a day off? You know, we'll see you tomorrow at practice. I'm like, okay. We'll get right back at it, guys, you know, and that's what it's taking, you know. Dave and Landon have been decent, 7th grade,
And they're seniors.
and they're seniors, and Connor's a senior, you know. And just the dedication that they have given me and us in our school is just amazing.
Can you not hold them back?
Oh, I would love to hold them back. Yeah, I'm afraid we couldn't even fail them the whole year, and they would still have graduated. So they're just awesome. I think, to go through a few things, I think our overall record was 63-5. Undefeated regular season, winners of state line tournament, academic tournament, undefeated through region. I'd like to say, just an amazing year for an amazing group of individuals, you know, individual achievements, team achievements. They like each other, we practice. You know, every practice is full of hard work, fun, and laughter, and they just love it. I mean, you can just tell by, you know, what we do and the craft that we've come up with, and, you know, we've been at it a long time, and, you know, hard work pays off. You know, when I talked to them at the beginning of this year, I was like, hey, guys, listen. You know, a lot of times coaches like, you know, we're going to go to state. I was like, you all can win state. We can do this year. You know, and we did. Like I said, we went out there to Jamestown and represented Southwest Virginia and Ridgeview High School very well. You know, just, like I said, it's just amazing, and the support that we've had from everybody has been amazing. You know, and I know sometimes, like, in the athletes, they kind of like the limelight and they kind of like this stuff. And sometimes my kids don't like it as much because they're not used to it. But they're coming around on it.
Get used to this.
You know, like we you know, we invited to elementary school, and, you know, then I think some parents have brought them cookies this week and next week, and, you know, it's pretty nice, right? We kind of like that, you know. So, like I said, we saw you all a couple months ago. I told you, I hope we have some good news.
Yes, you did.
And man, did we have some good news.
Yes, the best.
Yeah, this is the best.
Yeah,
This
the
is the
best.
best. We got the best kids.
We do. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and help us to recognize our state champs? Ms. Gillespie. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. We wanted to do something special. And thank you, Mr. Hicks, for repeating that over and over. As I said, I didn't think I would ever get tired of that.
Well, I look forward to seeing them on Jeopardy one day.
Mr. Hicks, at this time, I'd like to ask Ms. Martin to follow. I just wanted you to follow that, but they were here, and it was wonderful.
Can't Mark or somebody follow that? That's hard to follow. Very hard to follow. Good evening. I guess we'll talk attendance and enrollment. It's very hard to follow that fantastic group of kids. This evening we'll talk, this is January's attendance. In your packet, as usual, I have the attendance percentages for the month, the comparisons for the last 4 years, and I'm breaking things. Sorry about that. The entry and withdrawals. There's also a summary of the absence intervention team's notes for the month, and a picture, the picture flyer that I do. Last month, the schools were invaded by the Grinch. This month, thanks to CIS, you'll see that the Cookie Monster invaded the elementary school, and so I shared those with you. Those are some real cute pictures. Our enrollment for the month, we are down by 3 students from last month. Excuse me. We show a total of 1,829 students enrolled in K-12. We have 94 students in pre-K, the three-year-old program, and our postgraduate, which is a total of 1,923 students. I would like to mention we did have 13 early graduates that would count in the January enrollment. We had 9 that were standard diplomas and 4 that were the applied studies diplomas. So actually, if you take that into consideration, we were actually up in attendance if you do consider that. For our monthly attendance or absentee percentages, Ridgeview Middle School had the highest for the month of January with 91.94%. Ridgeview High School was a close second with 91.67%. We are also pleased to report to you that all 4 schools reached the 90% rate or higher this month, which is a goal that we've set for each school, so we were pleased with that. Excuse me. Our billboard campaign is in full swing. We'll choose the winners tomorrow. Each school will choose 4 students that have had perfect attendance for the month of January and for the month of February, and they will be stars on our next billboard. Next Tuesday, we'll do our photo shoot. Ms. Tanya Grant has graciously agreed to be my photographer for us, and I'll share with you, before it goes up, Ms. Robinson will share with you our concept. I don't want to do it live yet, but we will share it with you so that you're not surprised when you see the billboard go up. But we'll be doing our photo shoot on Tuesday for that with our winners that will be chosen tomorrow afternoon. For chronic absenteeism, you'll see those numbers there. And as usual, if school is to end at the end of January, you see our numbers don't really reflect real well. If it was at 180 days, we are looking a little bit better. And then, but we do have some good news on the horizon for that, for chronic absenteeism, and to help recover some of those days. And that's something that Ms. Robinson is going to share with you a little bit in some more detail in just a moment. As far as what I presented, are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin.
Mr. Hicks, at this time, I'd like to ask the Beta Club and their sponsors will please come to the front to be recognized. We've had a great month, just a fabulous month. We've had state winners at the Beta Club convention. We've had champions, Scholastic. Athletically, you see where we are doing. So we're just doing fantastic. And I'd like to introduce Tiffany Kennedy. Tiffany is one of our sponsors. She's also our school nurse. So our school nurses play a lot of different roles in our schools, and we're so thrilled that she is one of our sponsors with the Junior Beta Club. And Ms. Kennedy, I'm going to defer the meeting to you at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Good evening, members of the board, Ms. Robinson. In February, 16 of our Ridgeview High School Beta Club students, along with sponsors Joy Hall, Linda Tipton, Michelle Powers, myself, and Dennis Kennedy, attended the State Beta Convention in Hampton, Virginia. The students participated in a variety of academic, visual, and performing arts, STEM, and state office competitions. Ridgeview High School students excelled in these competitions and received the following awards. First place, Social Studies, was Landon Couch, and this is his 4th consecutive year placing first.
Wow.
First place, Division II, was Reese Lampkin. First place, Apparel Design, was Diamond Rains. She designed a jacket that went along with the theme for the year. First place, Living Literature, was Landon Hickman, Gracie Edwards, Diamond Rains, Landon Couch, and Donovan Burns. And this is the 4th consecutive year that we've placed first place in it. And there are some pictures that we sent in to demonstrate what we did. And the theme that we picked to do the piece of literature was Hansel and Gretel. This is one of my favorite competitions that these students get to do. It takes hours upon hours of work to build this. So when we get to competition, we have 1 hour to construct this. And then they have to stand in like the wax figures for a complete hour and a half while judging goes on. First place, Club Trading Pin, which was designed by Rachel Mullins. And our students will give each one of you guys a Club Trading Pin from this year. Second place was our Quiz Bowl team, David Farmer, Landon Couch, Tiger Moore, and Lexi Stallard. This is the second consecutive year that they placed second. Third place, Division II speech was David Farmer. Our new Virginia Secretary-elect is Reese Lampkin. And completing her term as Virginia Vice President is Harmony Oakwen. Please join me in congratulating these Beta students on their hard work and dedication in representing Ridgeview High School.
Oh, wonderful. And Ms. Kennedy, if you would, then perhaps they could come
Sure.
up to the stage and...
And we just want to let you guys know, in June, we will be traveling to Savannah, Georgia to participate in the National Beta Convention. So all these students will get the chance to participate at the national level.
Wow, very exciting.
Come up through here and so you can shake our hands. Board members, I'm so proud to be represented by three gentlemen.
Congratulations, yeah. Yeah, nice job. Congratulations.
If you'll stand right there, David, and we'll take your picture.
Very awesome. Congratulations. Congrats.
Miss Edwards, can you take our picture?
Congratulations. Yes, sir, thank you.
And will our parents of our Beta Club, would you please stand to be recognized? We know that, like,
Thank you.
and Miss Edwards is going to take your picture.
I'll get one. I'll get one.
Okay. All right. Thank you so very much.
Did you have another pen? I'll give you mine. Let's get in there. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't get one. I'm the one that's yelling. Thank you so much. That's all I can worry about. Thank you. I've got one, thank you, but hold on to it. But our last item in information for the board is something that on the front page of the Dixon Star. We've also had it in Facebook, the DCPS Facebook, and on our website, and it deals, as Ms. Martin said, with chronic absenteeism. You know, that's an issue that is every school division in America is facing. And for Virginia, a student is identified chronic if they miss 18 or more days of excused and unexcused absence. And with illness, with sickness, with all the things that are going around, sometimes it's easy by the end of the year to miss 18 days of school. And so one of the things that the Virginia Department of Education with the state superintendent has allowed us to do is that any time that a student participates in flexible instruction before school, after school, on Saturday school, that can count toward their chronic absenteeism up to 15 days a year. Now, that's a win-win situation, because if a child is chronic, they participate in our after-school programs, then they can be off the chronic list. But it's also a win-win situation because they get the instruction that they missed. And so when we received this in January of 31st of this year, we were very excited, and we were hoping, because we have so many after-school programs going. And then we understood that we could go back to the beginning of the year, and those students, we can count those students then. So any child who has attended an after-school junior after the bell, Wolfpack after the bell, all our tutoring, all our remediation, all our SOL things that we do after school since the beginning of the year can be counted on this journey. So we are very pleased with that. As our Dickinson Star said, we average about 50 to 60 in our after-school program at Ridgeview Middle School, and for Clintwood Elementary and and for Ridgeview Elementary. And then we have after-school programs in each of our schools, including the high school, beginning on March the 3rd. So we're thrilled, we're excited. We also provide after-school transportation, and Ms. Compton, I don't know if she's here, but Ms. Compton serves them a wonderful meal to go along with that. So we keep them after school, we work with them, we feed them, and with them we take them home. And so we know the service that provides many families and many parents, and our children love it. So again, we're just pleased that we have the after-school programs, and we're delighted that we can help children and families not to be identified as chronic if they participate in these after-school programs. So any questions on that or anything at all with that? So if you have an opportunity to share that with parents, or come to the after-school program and see what fun they have, it's fascinating. And the last thing that I have, one more thing, Mr. Wallace, I told you this had been a good week, a good month. We have a new software. Ryan, is that what it's called, a new software?
Well, it's a combination of hardware and software. If you look behind you right here, Cody's going to bring it up. What it is, it's the Lou Interactive Playground that we just installed here at Ridgeview Elementary. So, Cody, you can bring up the website real quick. Thank you, you're on a extend the screen, bud.
It's not showing for you. You must be on
You're on extended screen.
I thought I was the only one who had technology problems.
Even the technology department has technology problems.
That's all right.
Here we go. So their website here, you can kind of see from the little screenshot right here, it's a 10-foot by 20-foot projection screen that's fully touch enabled. And it has like lights up above, as you see, games and apps, but these games and apps are all educational based. So we've been having an eye on this piece of equipment for a year or two. Finally was able to be able to nail it down and get it installed. We got it installed yesterday. Scroll on down just a little bit, Cody. And you can see a little bit more. You can see right there, it has the projection screen in the ceiling. The lights is also in the speakers in the ceiling as well. That's basically the heartbeat, which is the computer and motion sensor, and that's kind of an overall view for what it looks like. So Cody, you can go ahead and bring up, I got a few pictures and stuff of it installed, some kids playing real quick. As you can see right there, we had a couple of them in today. They're trying to knock down a virtual wall with those, with the balls and stuff. Go to the next slide. At their still, like, as you can see, they've done a pretty good job. They knocked it down. Now the next one, that shows you kind of like the educational piece. So she has a math problem on the screen. She needs to take the ball and basically hit the correct answer. It's kind of like a whack-a-mole type game. They seem to enjoy that as well. That can be incorporated in any type of math assignment they're working on that week. And there's also one where they can spell out words as well. I talked to Dr. Neese, and he acted like, we start trying to get like spelling lists each week for the kids upload, so when they come to gym, they can get a workout and also work on their spelling words. Go to the next one, Cody. This is a video, I believe. Yeah, see if you can click on it. It's just a little short video of them playing the one where they are knocking down the wall. You see the lights and everything with it, and they seem to enjoy it pretty well. Next one real quick.
How did they enjoy that, Mr. Wallace?
We about couldn't hardly get them away from it. And Coach O is the guy of the day today. This one's a puzzle. I uploaded our Ridgeview logo as well, so they can come and hit that and rotate it around. So it's kind of a puzzle.
Oh, how neat.
So that was pretty neat as well. And then the last one, like I said, this is kind of it's called like a whack-a-mole game. See, it changes the problem on them, so we can set difficulties and everything. And I think that's it. So yeah, we're pretty excited to have that in the school system. A lot of the kids today, they've been walking by their heads, looking in, trying to look at what's going on. So yeah, we're pretty excited to have it in, get it in their hands. Yes, I've been in the gym all day. So.
It's very impressive. Would you happen to have an old school duck hunt that you could go over that?
Probably. Galaga. You remember those?
Yeah.
It's on there. They played it today as well.
Oh, okay.
So it was fun.
Mr. Wallace walked up and said, I'm exhausted.
Interested in physical education.
Oh, yeah.
That normally wouldn't want to participate. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ms. Robinson.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. Hicks, I think that completes our good news for our schools, unless I think of something else really quickly, sir. So, thank you.
think of something else.
Thank you, board members. Thank you, Mr. Wallace.
All right, our next agenda item is the update on the Ridgeview Elementary School. Mr. Burge, he always brings good news.
Somebody been rough on the podium. Yeah, we are, the project is moving along real well. We've had some good weather, so it's made it nice, and we can see some real good movement out there. We'll bring up the slides here, but the weather's been great.
is the update to the 23-24 school calendar. Today was day 120 in the 23-24 school year, so we're 2/3 of the way through the school year, and sometimes you think of that and it's hard to believe. It depends on the day. Sometimes you think of that and you think, is that all we're at? But we're 2/3 of the way through. We have missed 8 days this year due to inclement weather, and at this point in the year, we've utilized 4 virtual learning days. Easter and spring break is scheduled for Thursday, March the 28th through Tuesday, April the 2nd. So that's coming up here in about a month. We would like to propose the following end-of-year dates and adjustments to the 23-24 school year. Graduation for Ridgeview High School to be held on Friday, May 24th. And that is the Friday of Labor Day weekend, Friday, May the 24th. Schools will be closed for, I said Labor Day weekend. That is Memorial Day weekend. I apologize. Schools will be closed for Memorial Day on Monday, May the 27th. The last day of school for the 23-24 school year will be Wednesday, May the 29th. That will be day 180. And teacher work days will be Thursday, May 30th, and Friday, May the 31st. I hope I got those dates correct. But those are the adjustments that we would propose for the 23-24 school year. I know Mr. Compton is excited that we can set a graduation date. Sometimes that's difficult to do at this point in the year, but we try to as early as possible, ordering graduation announcements and making all those plans for graduation. So I know he's excited about being able to do that here in February. Any questions on any of those dates or comments?
The only, Mr. Mullins, the only comment there is that April the 8th, it's on a Monday, is a total solar eclipse. And on that particular day, depending on the weather, we may request the board's consensus to be dismissed early that day. The total eclipse will be in our area about the time that we are dismissing from school. We understand that it will be longer than the partial eclipse that we had before. It may be more damaging to eyes, those types of things. And we are concerned that if children are traveling on the bus, getting on the bus, all of those types of things, that we may not have the appropriate supervision here at school to provide that. When we had the last partial eclipse, we had it in the middle of the day. And so we all went out and we had glasses, and Mr. Vanover may remember that. It was a great learning experience. We just don't have that opportunity. So again, depending if it's going to be a sunny day, we may have a phone call just to have that conversation. If it's going to be rainy and dark, and it may not matter, we certainly will check with all the experts on that. But I'd just like to keep Monday, April the 8th, as a possibility for an early release day in the event that we need to because of the total solar eclipse. And if you have any questions on that, please let me know. Mr. Mullins, thank you, sir.
If those end-of-year dates are okay with the board, I guess we would need approval from the board for the adjustment to the 23-24 calendar.
Do you have any questions for Mr. Mullins? Do I have a motion to approve the revisions to the 23-24? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Oh, excuse me. All right. Next, Mr. Mullins again with approval of the 24-25 school calendar.
We'll just keep going right along here to the next year. The school calendar for the 24-25 school year. Discussion regarding the 24-25 school year calendar was recently held at our February administrator or principals meeting. And just to remind the board and others, when we try to develop the school calendar, I know you all have heard this before, but I try to share it each year. When we start with the development of the school calendar, we generally look at developing the school calendar with the intention of ending the first semester at the Christmas break. And that is mainly for the benefit of the high school. And there's two reasons that we do that for the high school. One is our dual enrollment students. We have several students who take dual enrollment. The college follows that schedule. They end classes for the fall semester in December, and they start their spring semester classes in January. If we veer from that and end in first semester in January, which we have done before, sometimes we've had to, we've not done it very many times, but it creates an issue with classes for those students, dual enrollment. The second issue there is in regards to end-of-course assessments that students take at the end of certain high school courses to receive verified credits that they need for graduation. So the thought there is that if they take those assessments before they leave for Christmas break, there's not a 2-week break there, that hopefully the material and information, the review had just occurred, and they would perform better on those assessments. Also, you never know, in January, you hope you're going to come back on the day you schedule, but sometimes with the weather, that doesn't always work. So the break could be longer than 2 weeks, but you never know that. So that's the reason, just to share, why we try to develop the school calendar with the intention of ending the first semester at the Christmas break. So with that said, we looked at a calendar that was very similar and resembled the calendar that we fall under this current year, that was approved for this current year. It's very close to being identical to that. We narrowed it down to 2 options, and there was only one difference between the 2 options. And I think in your packet you've got a copy of both option 1 and option 2. Both options have 4 teacher workdays scheduled to start the year, and those will begin on Friday, August the 2nd. Both options have school opening for students on Thursday, August the 8th, and both options have school scheduled to end on Monday, May the 19th. Both have schools closed on Labor Day, which is Monday, September the 2nd. Both have schools closed on Monday and Tuesday, November the 4th and 5th, around Election Day. Both options include the Thanksgiving and fall break as the week of November the 25th through November the 29th. The last day of school before Christmas break is scheduled for Friday, December the 20th, and Christmas break runs from Monday, December 23rd through Monday, January the 6th. Monday, January the 6th is scheduled as a teacher workday, and students return to begin the second semester on Tuesday, January the 7th. The only difference in the 2 options involves the plan for Easter and spring break. Option 1 breaks those 2 breaks into 2 long weekends. Option 1 has Friday, Monday, a long weekend scheduled for spring break on March 7th through the 10th. And Easter break is Friday, Monday, a long weekend scheduled for April the 18th through the 21st. Easter falls on Sunday, April the 20th next year. Option 2 combines the Easter and spring break as we have it this year, scheduled. Option 2 combines Easter and spring break, and it runs from Thursday, April the 17th, through Tuesday, April the 22nd. So that's the only difference that we looked at, trying to keep it, again, similar to the current school year calendar. We sent those two options out to the faculty and staff to survey them. We received 182 responses from faculty and staff. 146 votes, or 80%, was for option 1. 36 votes, or 28%, was for option 2. And the only comments that we really heard voiced centered around not having a longer scheduled Easter and spring break toward the end of the school year, with Easter being in April of next year. You have those end-of-year activities, once again, those end-of-course assessments, all the plans that go with that. The thought there was being, okay, if we broke it up a little bit, still had a break around Easter, but break it up into a break there in March. Sometimes that February and March gets long. If you don't have any weather, sometimes it gets long, and so it's good sometimes to have a break there. But the vote from staff was 80% for option 1, 20% for option 2, and we would recommend approval of option 1 for the 5 school year. Again, it is almost identical to the calendar that was approved for this year. I'll try to answer any questions.
You said there was 182 total votes, or
There was 182 votes, yes.
out of what would have been possible if everybody participated?
300 full-time staff, and we sent it out just to the listserv, so I'd say you had over 400 emails. So maybe a third, maybe a little more than a third. I'll try to answer any questions, or if anybody has any, or...
Okay. Don't have any questions for Mr. Mullins. Do I hear a motion to approve the 24-24 school calendar as presented? Which is option 1, yes.
Yeah, I move to approve option 1.
Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. No opposed.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next, update on the state and local budget process for fiscal year 25. Ms. Taylor.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Wanted to give you the update on the status of our budget preparation for fiscal year 25. We currently have a budget workshop that will be scheduled for March 13th at 5 p.m. Here in this auditorium. And it's at that time that we will present to you the first draft of our proposed budget for fiscal year 25. In December of 23, we did receive calculation tools from the Virginia Department of Education, and that was for the governor's proposed budget. That budget listed Dickinson County with an estimated ADM, or average daily membership, which is our enrollment, of 1,750.55 students. And that was the basis for the estimated budget based off of the governor's proposal. That budget would bring about a state share of funding for fiscal year 25 of $20,753,000. It would also require a local share of $4,828,000, so it would be a total of $25,581,000. Some specific details about that is it does provide a 1% one-time bonus for SOQ-funded positions in fiscal year 25. And as we go forward, we'll go through some other information on that, but just as a reminder, we do have 201.33 positions that are considered SOQ funded. We do have 300, give or take, full-time employees. So you'll see that when the state does provide funding for compensation supplements, they only provide it for those that are considered SOQ funding. So that ends up being about 2/3 of our staff, and then we would then secure the funding to make those across the board. Now, in February, the House and the Senate proposed bills at crossover have been reported to us. Virginia Department of Education has determined at this time not to move forward with making full calculation tools based on those proposals. What they did do is provide for us, and we received this today, there was a comparison of how that is expected to look for divisions. So as I said, the governor's budget was a total of $25.5 million. The Senate bill that is proposed would be a state share of just over $22 million, local share of $4,894,000 for a total of $26,912,000. The House Bill 30 at crossover reported a state share of $22,217,000, local share of $5,113,000 for a total of $27,331,000. Now, the differences between the Senate bill and the House bill and the governor's proposed budgets, there are varying degrees of differences on how they would like to handle sales tax, how they're looking at hold harmless funding, how they're looking at at-risk funding, and they are looking at different viewpoints on how they're going to fund SOQ positions and those amounts. So those are all varying factors within the three versions. Would like to point out that Senate Bill 30 does include, rather than a one-time 1% bonus for fiscal year 25, it is proposing a 3% compensation supplement for SOQ funded positions that goes into effect October 1st rather than July 1. It would be a delayed compensation increase. House Bill 30 at crossover is calling for a 3.375% compensation supplement for SOQ and making that effective as of July 1. We're going to continue monitoring all of this activity in the legislation and keeping you apprised as of that. As far as our first draft for the budget, we are going to base that off of the governor's budget that was proposed in December 2023, and hopefully we will get some more information soon regarding the Senate and House versions of those bills and possibly some increased funding. So we're looking at right now, we're going to base that off of the governor's budget, which is $25,581,800. House Bill 30 comes in at $27,331,000. So there is anywhere from $1 to $2 million still at play in the legislation that they're considering now. I do believe that Superintendent Robinson provided you with the some details on the House and Senate proposals, and those are at a statewide level. So if you're wanting to see kind of where their priorities or their focus may be, I encourage you to look at that, and at any point in time that we get some more simplified or detailed information, we'll be passing that along to you.
Have any questions for Mr. Taylor?
Thank you.
Okay. Next agenda item is the approval of the proposed DCPS 6-year plan. Mr. Deal.
Mr. Hicks, Mr. Deal could not be with us today because of illness, so I'd just like to present the proposed DCPS 6-year plan. You received that in the January board meeting, and we are asking for your final consideration and discussion. I think many of you may have reached out to him for some changes and recommended revisions. If you have any questions, please let us know. But at this time, you have the revised plan. You had the revised plan in your board packet, and we just are asking, recommending approval of the DCPS 6-year plan as presented.
Have any comments or questions about the 6-year plan? Do I have a motion to approve the 6-year plan?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next is the revision of the DCPS policy GCBD, staff leaves and absences. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you. Board members, with the addition of several 11-month contract employees, such as assistant principals, guidance counselors, therapists, et cetera, we're recommending the revision of this policy. Staff leave absences, and on page 2 of this policy that you received on Friday, 10-month employees, it's listed that 10-month employees receive 10 days. 12-month employees receive 12 days, but there is nothing about 11-month employees. And so we'd like to add to that policy that 11-month 11-month employees, contract employees, beginning with the 24-25 year, receive 11 sick days. So we're just making a revision to that policy to complement what we are currently doing with 11-month contracts.
I move to approve the revised policy.
No one has any questions or discussion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Our next agenda item is an update on the transition of Clintwood Elementary to the Ridgeview campus for the 24-25 school year.
Well, we're getting close. We were getting very close. The two main items in this transition is that in March, the board is going to receive a proposed draft of placement for staff members as we transition to Ridgeview Elementary School and Ridgeview Middle School. And so you will be receiving that for March for your approval. We are working diligently on that list. We are inviting our principals from both of those schools to, again, as I've mentioned before, to come and look at that list and make final recommendations and revisions. We understand that that's a very important part, and our staff members want to know, of course, what they will be teaching and where they'll be doing. The second thing that we have thoroughly started with, that beginning next week, we are looking at adding and remodeling some of our classrooms at Ridgeview Middle School. Our maintenance staff is doing this, and so they are looking at adding additional walls, and under maintenance, and Terry Smith, our main person in maintenance, and so that we can accommodate the 6 classrooms that are coming. And so that will begin in March. Most of it, a lot of it will be done in the next 2 weeks, and then whatever is not done there, we will do toward the summer. We don't want to interrupt, we don't want to interrupt with instruction and getting close to SOL time and those kinds of things. So we're moving right on ahead with those 2 issues. While it's very difficult to even understand for many of the board members, our board members here, we're close to the final line. In approximately 5 to 6 months, we will be finished with a construction project that began officially in 2013 when we had groundbreaking very close to where we're sitting now. In 5 or 6 months, in July, our construction project for the Dickson County Public Schools will be finished. It's amazing, and it's just unreal, and it's even unreal to me at times. We are on budget. We've come in budget each and every time. We are now at a situation where we're assessing the needs that we're going to have as we begin the new school year. Some of those needs are, we're going to need additional parking. We would like to have canopies. We hear many from our parents, canopies for Ridgeview High School and Ridgeview Middle School. We have miscellaneous furniture needs that we have. And so we are in discussions with our Board of Supervisors for the $600,000 that was removed from the elementary school construction. And we hope that with those discussions that they will work with us
and allow us to have that funding so that we can finish these projects. Either way, the school transition will be completed in July and for the beginning of school in August. So again, it's almost finished. We're almost there, and I just want to thank the board and recognize all of your efforts to get us to this point with that. So any questions or comments, anything for me regarding the transition? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hicks.
Okay, our last agenda item is the presentation of the financial audit report. Ms. Taylor.
Well, we've had plenty of good news this evening. I'm going to share with you some more good news, and it is nowhere near as exciting as the Scholastic team or the Beta Club. However, as Director of Business and Finance, a good audit report is always good news. Rutherford Moss issued an unqualified opinion on the 22-23 school activity funds financial statements. This is what is referred to as a clean opinion, meaning we could not ask for any better. It is their opinion that the financial statements presented fairly in all material respects the financial position of school activity funds for Dickinson County Public Schools at 6/30/23. You do have a copy of that report, and I encourage you to go through and look at that. It will give you not only our financial statements combined for school activity funds, but it will give you by each school as of 6/30. At the end, there is also a report on internal controls over financial reporting. Rutherford Moss did not identify any deficiencies in internal control that would be considered a material weakness to the integrity of the financial statements. They did, however, as in years past, note a significant deficiency due to the lack of segregation of duties. They also noted that it would not be practical or cost beneficial to the division to correct this deficiency, as it is related to limited staff employed for accounting functions, and this is a common note among school divisions. So all in all, it's very good. It does tell us that we do an excellent job with the staff that we do have. So I have my hats off to our school bookkeepers. They do a tremendous job, and I love working with them. I'll go through and give you the fund balances as of 6/30/23. Clintwood Elementary School, $31,191. Irvington Elementary School, $5,818. Ridgeview High School, $467,496. Ridgeview Middle School, $79,879. Sand Lake Elementary School, $48,384. The combined fund balances, specified school activity funds for the county, $632,768 as of June 30th, 2023. This is a special one. This should be the last one where we have all of these schools. And so you'll see that those names will change going forward. So I'm very proud of this. I'm very proud of our bookkeepers, and I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
All right, this time we'll have board comments. Mr. Hackney, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just really nice night seeing Scholastic Bowl state champions. It's such a wonderful accomplishment. I also want to congratulate the Beta Club and all the success that they've had. Also want to wish the girls basketball team good luck. A big game coming up. Hopefully a big win. And thanks, Ms. Taylor, for that good news. It was still good news if it wasn't as exciting, so thank you. And appreciate Mr. Dill for his work on the 6-year plan.
I would echo everything that he said, that all those students having that high degree of success and their sponsors, all the work that's gone into that, it certainly is breathtaking, and everybody certainly ought to applaud that effort and all the hard work that it took. I would just ask that we always keep her mind on the safety and all the concerns that we have about the environment, not only us, but every school division in this country. Seems like every week that there's something somewhere, and it is aggravating and it is troubling to me, and I just hope that we all do everything we can to protect and preserve the quality environment the safe environment we all want to have.
Mr. Vanover? Well, as I stated last month in my first comment, that, I think we have some of the best and most brightest students that there are in the state or in the country, and I think what we've seen tonight proves that. And just piggyback off what Mr. Hackney said, it's just good to get all the good news that we've gotten, that the girls basketball team, the Beta state champions in Scholastic. I'd also like to mention, not only do we have the best students, I think, but we also have great teachers and great staff that motivate them and mentor them to these levels. And as Ms. Music stated, we had those 3 teachers that got the grants and scholarships, Mr. Oakwind, Ms. Soularette, and Ms. Osborne. And I think that also just goes to show the commitment of our teachers and our staff and how far they want to go to make sure that these kids succeed. So it's been a good night, yeah.
Mr. Mullins?
Well, I was just thinking about the state championship of the Scholastic team winning a state championship. I was sitting here thinking when the Ridgeview girls win their state championship, that will be known as the superior school, not only academically, but athletically.
Hey.
So, all this is great. So, and not to mention the successes of the Beta Club. And the playground technology, I think, is really beneficial for these kids. That's the future, and it's absolutely wonderful. And I think things are just really good and looking up and very, very positive.
Good. Well, I'll say it again, Mountain 7 champions, region champions, 23, 24 state champions. But yeah, it's very, that was really cool. And so congratulations to those guys and congratulations to their sponsors there. Very pleased with Beta. That's very impressive. The thing that stuck out for me, they said they have to stand there like a statue for an hour and a half, and I have a hard enough time sitting through a board meeting. So that was very impressive, and just the scale of the things they build and have to put it together in an hour. We've got some really talented kids and some really dedicated staff and folks that work with them. And I'd also like to, it's great to give these coaches and sponsors a pat on the back once they've had some great success. But, I'd also like to congratulate and recognize coaches who may not have had the best year. And, they're working hard. And so, but we do appreciate those and appreciate all the efforts of our teachers and aides. I'd like to congratulate our schools on the hitting the 90% school attendance rate. Something we've been shooting for, and so that's very positive, and just very blessed and appreciative of the after-school program that's going to let us bring that chronic absenteeism numbers even further down. It's going to be a great help to us. And it's a good night.
Mr. Hicks, I want to thank you for saying that each time. I just thought it was so impressive that each of them hear it each time, the Mountain 7, the Region 7. Thank you, sir, for doing that.
Probably something else, I'm guessing. Yep. All right. This time we'll go into closed session. Closed session pursuant to Section 2.2-3711, Paragraph A of the Code of Virginia. There will be a closed session for the purpose of employment issues related to discussion or consideration of specific individuals for employment as part-time tutors, substitutes, coaches, FMLA, and resignation pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A. And 2, to consult with legal counsel regarding the investment of public funds associated with school construction and consultation regarding actual or probable litigation, along with consultation regarding specific matters requiring legal advice pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-71A, 6, 7, and 8 of the Code of Virginia. Do I hear a motion to go into closed session?
So moved. Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Everything puts a sign yet.
If I can get my signature, it's probably where I get my handwriting's pretty sad.
Take mine. Sure, you sign this first. Your signature is usually more money. Guys, I've never been able to read a document. We need to sign this paper.
I already signed this once.
Did you win? Once, 4 years ago.
No, I did it up in Tony's office a couple weeks ago. All right. Do we print and sign, or is that just for, I don't know. I'll print and sign. I guess we got enough room to do that.
I can't read mine either way.
All right. I think we got a pen, need a pen?
Tony Clerk.
What's he saying about me? I heard my name.
Tony Clerk.
Oh.
Tony Clerk.
Mr. Russick, I have one more thing for you to sign. This was the resolution recognizing Dr. Lyle. I wasn't here.
Code of conduct.
We're supposed to remember to do something.
Yeah, we voted on that last meeting.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Robert's Rules of Order. 7.
She's only been here 20-some years.
I guess we could buck, couldn't we?
That would seem right.
We could. Remember one time not too long ago with the board supervisor.
He's just always been. He was our night supervisor.
Yeah. Was it?
Act up a little bit. It's good. It's good for me, yeah. He always stood my ring.
There you go, sir.
Thank you.
It does. Did you see my text message? Think about it. They, Scholastic College, they want Alexis Stallard. And so I'm betting, I bet she's got something. I bet she's won something, and they're providing some kind of prize.
Because I asked Rick and he said no. I didn't know what it was, so I'll ask Adrian tomorrow.
How's Rolly?
When they called her out, she wasn't here, but when they called her name out, I thought that's A. Stallard.
That you're right. I never caught that.
That's, I bet she's won some kind of prize from her or something.
I gave everybody their
But
packets.
as soon as they did it, I thought, I gotta text her now or I'll forget.
Yeah. I am so. I'm putting the coat on until they come back.
just the guy that Ms. Robinson brought materials for me to have in closed session, and then I left them.
I thought we told you to behave, and they've already kicked you out.
Vanished. What's that? I don't know. Well, I took some of it in there, but I don't know. When I got to my chair, somebody else must have saw them. But
Okay. Is there a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are now out of closed session. Ms. Robinson, will you read the certification for us?
Yes, sir. Whereas the Dickinson County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this day pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this board that such a closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dickinson County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only the public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered. Would you please certify?
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
Are there any motions from closed session?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the recommendations, personnel recommendations from closed session as presented.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Is there any other business to discuss? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.